Hello and welcome to NCERT's live phone-in program. My name is Tanvi Khurana and let me introduce you to our today's topic, which is Identifies characters and sequence in a story. Let's meet our expert for this session. We have Professor Varada M. Nikalje. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am is from Department of Elementary Education, NCERT, and if you have any questions regarding this topic, please send in your questions on our email ID, which is ciet.kishormunch@gmail.com. You can also call us on our toll-free numbers, which are 1800-111-265. There is one more toll-free number, which is 1800-112199. We'll expect you to call us in next half an hour. And yes, you are watching us live on our NCERT official, the name of the channel for our YouTube channel. And let's begin with our conversation, ma'am. So this is based on the academic calendar for primary stage, which is developed by NCERT, and it is also called alternate academic calendar. What exactly is alternate academic calendar?
Yes. The alternate academic calendar, we have given the name alternate because most schools by now would have had an academic calendar in place. They would have already thought about and discussed, all the teachers in their subject areas, what chapters can be tentatively planned for and completed by the end of one session, and what holiday homework or assignments could be given and so on. But with in the prevailing situation, this has not been possible, and therefore NCERT had undertaken a task of developing an alternate academic calendar for schools all over the nation. And the primary stage, the academic calendar for primary stage has been released around 10 days ago, and just yesterday the academic calendar for the upper primary stage has also been released.
Okay. Ma'am, like we all know that we are dealing with a pandemic in the country, in the entire world. So everyone is confined to their respective homes.
Yes.
Be it children, be it parents, everyone. So how would you, what steps would you advocate for language learning?
It is true that in this situation, children are at home, teachers are at home.
Yeah.
I mean, till yesterday even the anchor was at home. It's only today that I am having an anchor sitting next to me. Thanks to technology, it didn't seem to the viewers that the anchor is in some other place, Ghaziabad or somewhere, and me in NCERT at the CIT studio.
Yeah.
Technology is really wonderful, and we are making full use of technology for continuing with the online courses and with subjects being discussed with teachers as we are doing right now. And of course, this situation hopefully will be over in a few months. Some children were saying that it seemed such a long time ago that they were in school. It seems that this confinement at the home has been going on forever. They said once upon a time there used to be school, we used to meet friends, we used to have team games. Once upon a time there were crowded malls and markets and shops that we could go to. So once upon a time, this is how most stories would begin. This is also a story. In fact, I mean, later on they may even write stories about it. So language learning happens through two channels. One is reading, that is when they are exposed to written material in the form of magazines, newspapers, or even the running ribbon that you see on TV. Yeah. And also through listening, that is listening to the teacher or to the elders or to siblings, neighbors on the telephone, or even listening to recorded material on YouTube and so on. So reading and listening, these are the two channels through which language learning at this juncture, when everyone is at home, can take place.
Okay. Ma'am, you mentioned two words very specifically, reading and listening.
Yes.
So reading and listening, but how would you make a standard one student read?
I think we need to redefine reading in this context. Reading, for example, if there are traffic signals on your way to office, if you see traffic signals, or if a child is going to see a school and sees the traffic signal, the child, even class 1 child, would know that red means stop, the school bus will stop, or the car in which he is traveling will stop, and green means that he has to, that the vehicle will move forward, and yellow means to kind of get ready. So red is a signal or a symbol for stop. And this is true universally in all countries. I mean, there's no country which has green for stop and red for go. So it's a kind of a universal symbol or a universal language in that sense. And therefore, if the child is interpreting red as stop and green as start, that means he's reading the traffic signal. So also with picture reading, we'll be looking at 2 picture books, and we'll also be looking, listening to a video, listening and viewing a video. So these, when I say reading, it means a very wide range of reading signals, pictures, maybe graphs, maybe body language, in addition to the printed or the handwritten symbols of various alphabets that we call script.
Okay. Ma'am, what will be the guidelines for the parents? Because right now teachers are trying to teach, but that's only through technology, but parents are there with the children all the time. So are there any particular guidelines which you can tell the parents so that they won't like interfere in the teaching method of the children?
Yes. One thing, I mean, the parents may not be aware exactly of the teaching pedagogical processes or the particular teaching methodology. But one thing that parents can exercise is caution or discretion.
Okay.
They should allow the child to figure out things by himself or herself. They should not be in a hurry to tell the child very quickly that this is what you see in the book. Don't tell the child what to see. Let the child see or figure it out. Figure out the sequencing himself or herself. I think the best way to illustrate this point would be through a book, which we shall be looking at. This one, this is a book that I would like to show the viewers. This one is Catch Me If You Can. This is part of the children's literature series that has been developed by NCERT. I am using it as an example. There could be other books that the parents may prefer to use or that the child is familiar with. So, Catch Me If You Can. If you can see here, the title page itself says quite a lot. Can you see here? Catch Me, and then if you can is written in smaller letters. Catch Me is the catchphrase, I should say. And if you can, and there are 3 dots here, which means the story will continue. You don't know whether the cat will catch the rat or not. It doesn't say catch me if you can, full stop. Or if there's these ellipses indicate that this is going to be an action-packed story.
It's like there's more to come.
Yes,
there's
there
not
is.
a full stop. It's not the end of the sentence.
Right. So you can see here again, you can help the child notice what is the expression on this cat, on the cat's face, what is the expression this rat is having here, and see the positioning of these characters. It's not that both of them are on the ground, and there's also a light here. I mean, there are things, children love to see details. They'll not just see this and then turn over. Ask them, what do you think? Catch me. Who is me? Me refers to the cat or me refers to the rat? Which one do you think is the me in this title? So, and you can see here it's written small book. The book, the size of the book is small. A class 1 child can easily hold it. It's not heavy, it's very thin, and the pages are also quite durable. The price is also quite less, it's just 20 rupees. So this is part of children's literature series brought out by NCERT. Now as you can see here, this is a center spread. That is, the illustration is spread over 2 pages. And the words are very few and very simple. A fat cat sat on a mat. On Wednesday we had a session on pronunciation practice in which I mentioned that this sound a the vowel sound a is not in Indian languages. In Indian languages, Hindi, Kannada, or most of the languages, we have a, and a, but we don't have a. So children need practice in this particular sound because they are going to be exposed to English.
Okay.
So a fat cat sat on a mat. This is the cat, and it's obviously fat, sitting on a mat.
So the rhyming, is it on purpose?
No, it was just to stress on the vowel,
Okay.
the a part. And well, they chose simple words and familiar words. Yes, and as you can see, there's internal rhyming here.
Yeah.
A little rat saw her and hid in a hat. So that line and this line, they do rhyme.
Yeah.
So the little rat saw her and hid under a hat here. And saw her, it has a ribbon here, so it's a female cat, and saw her. So you can ask this question again, how saw her? It means it's a she. How do you know? And you know, they may be able to point this out, but again, as I said, don't be in a hurry to say, look here, this shows that it is her, and then go on to the next one.
Okay. Not to reveal the answers.
Be patient, ask questions, but wait for the child to figure it out.
Okay.
Then, what did the cat say? I can catch you, little rat, said the cat. So, here we have the cat jumping, but the rat is equally fast, it jumped off, and the hat flew onto the cat because of the swift movement of the rat, and the stool toppled over. Children will really enjoy this kind of action.
Okay.
And here you find the rat smiling, very happy that he has avoided being caught by the cat, and he's up here and eating and enjoying himself, whereas something has already fallen on the cat.
Yeah.
And this light, it shows, you know, that this one is way below, and here is the cat, a rat high on a shelf. No, no, you can't, said the rat. The cat ran to catch the rat. Again, the a vowel sound is repeated. Cat ran, catch, rat. And this one is from this angle. The illustrations are wonderful, from this angle, from that angle, and so on. And what happened? The rat ran and hid in a box here, and this cat is looking at it very frustrated because the cat cannot enter. The hole is small enough only for the rat to enter, and the lid of the box did not open. So suppose lid is an unfamiliar word to children, then they'll have to figure it out looking at the illustration. You can see the rat peeping out from the hole, and this is the cat. The cat cannot enter through the hole. So what is the cat trying to do? It is trying to open the and stop.
Okay.
The children have to think of the word lid. They may say it in their mother tongue, they may say it in any other language, but bring them progressively towards the English word lid.
Okay.
And ha ha, you can't catch me, big cat, said the rat, looking very pleased with himself. And this is the cat which has accepted defeat. There are other books also here in this series. This is just an example, of course. You can use any book that you would like to. So, the illustrations, as we have seen, they tell us so much more than only the words. If it was only the words, concentrating on certain vowel sounds or on one or two, just one or two new words are introduced in the story. Most of them would be familiar, and if they are not familiar also, the illustrations would make it very clear as to what the child is talking about. I'd like to show one more book.
Please, ma'am.
This is, the title of this one is Busy Ants, and this is NBT production, National Book Trust.
Okay.
So National Book Trust, as we all know, is a premier institution. It was envisioned by the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He wanted books, low-cost books, that children from every linguistic background would be able to read. So NBT has done pioneer work in bringing out titles in not just bilingual books but multilingual, the same book in around 10 or 20 languages, so that children can pick up other languages, as well as be familiar with the story in their own mother tongue, in different scripts. This one I particularly like because it is, well, you can see here Pulak Biswas, one of the best illustrators by NBT, and it is a wordless book. There are no words.
There's no description.
No description, no narration, no words at all. It's just illustrations. Which means that children from any linguistic background can pick up this book and go through it and talk to their parents or grandparents in their mother tongue or in any other language that they are comfortable in, and then move on slowly to English, to describing themselves. Here, the child is the narrator. There is the author and the illustrator. Author in the sense of not words, but authoring the idea or the concept, and he has illustrated it himself. And what I love about this book is the perspective of the drawing. You know, as if the artist has gone down on his hands and knees and is actually doing it. See the size of the flower. The page is this much, this is the flower, and this is the ant. So he is drawn in great detail. The ant has been drawn in great detail. The corn, the kernel, the grass here, the grass also. It's not just a small, you know, squiggle or twigs, but it is real grass. And well, let me just open this one. This is also quite inexpensive. It is only 30 rupees. I should also mention that NBT has on its website, it has put up books for free downloading. There are books in many languages, different languages, and these are free because of this confining to the home kind of period. So children and parents are free to download these books and look at them at leisure. This one, this is an ant, and here is a flower, and the ant, you can see the expression on the ant's face. It's happy. The ant has found food, and it has dropped from here. Where did this food come from? Is it sweet? What do you think it is? This could be another flower. This could be a beehive, but then it can't be a beehive. Do you think it would be a beehive? Because there's grass here. Generally beehive would be, you know, high up on a tree. This is the way that the parent has to start an interaction with the child.
So, or maybe it can be leave on the child's imagination.
Yes. Ask the child what this could be. Then when he says something, ask the child, why do you think so? It can't be anything totally irrational. Sometimes to the adult, it may seem that the child is giving an answer which is, you know, not compatible with what the adult thinks should be the answer. But the child would be having a kind of a base or a reason for saying so. And so this, the adult, instead of outrightly rejecting the answer, should ask, why do you think so? Can you explain to me? I don't understand. So the adult should put herself in a position of saying, I don't know, can you explain it to me? So that the child will be speaking more and more. Here is the ant, and the ant is taking the food. And here, what is here? Here is this another ant coming towards the first ant. This ant, it drops the food. Why? You can ask this question, why did he see the second ant? Even if he saw the second ant, why did he drop it? You know, questions, it can be good emotions, it can be negative emotions. What the child is will say depends entirely on the child's imagination, as you said. And then both of them, now they are holding the food, and then they are moving. How do you know they are moving?
Because the legs.
Because of the legs, and because now the background is changing. They must have moved. That's why now there is a flower, and then there is another grass, yes, leaves, and a football. So when there is football, now flower, nature, this one, nature, this is not nature. It means that there is a child or
Playing
somebody
nearby.
nearby. So sorry. And which means the ants have travelled all this while, and they have gone past the little ball. But what is this here? This is part, again, leave it to the child to think. This could be, this looks like the front part of a sports shoe.
Yeah.
And it becomes more clear in the next picture. The child, and there is a hand here. There was no hand here, but now the shoe is nearer, and now there is a hand, which means some child has come nearer. And then now you see a face. The child has bent to the level of the ant and looking with curiosity what these ants are doing. Now along with the ball, then you find a bat.
A bat.
Again ask, why is the child bringing the bat so close to the ants? What is the child going to do? Is the child going to harm the ants or help the ants, and so on? And then he leaves the bat aside. He had just bent with the bat, but he leaves the bat aside and then brings forth his hand and picks up, what is this here? It's a stick, a kind of a forked stick. Now he's thinking. He wants to help the ants, and meanwhile the ants have reached their home. One of them has gone below and they are trying to get the food also inside, but the food is stuck here. It's slightly too big and too round. It's not entering. The other ant, what is the other ant doing? This ant is pushing, and so the little boy decides to help them. He brings the stick here and pushes the food
Inside.
just a little bit with a little bit of force. So what happens is the ant falls down inside, no injuries, it's his home, and the food also goes down. And this ant has also come here to see what's going on. The stick does not harm the second ant. The stick is taken away, leaving space for the second ant to come.
Enter.
And then the second ant also enters, and the little boy goes away because his work has been done. And then these two ants are here with their food.
So are they still fighting?
Let's see. And then they decide to eat. They are both eating almost like humans. I don't know how ants eat, but this looks like they are eating with their fingers. And then they both are, there's a smile here, a very tiny smile, and they are quite happy. And now at the end, what do? They are just relaxed.
It's a wonderful story.
So, yes.
And described so beautifully, that too without the words.
No words, yes.
Yeah. Students of the classes, for example, class 1, who
Yes.
cannot read, even they can understand.
They would really enjoy this book, class 1 and even class 2. The vocabulary would be, the level of the vocabulary would increase,
True.
The class 2 child might use more adjectives. The class 3 child might use conditional sentences, but the book is a favorite. It's a favorite even with me being an adult, so I'm sure children would enjoy this. There's no time for the video, I think, but this video can be seen in yesterday's session that we had. So that video, which is a 6-minute clipping, but otherwise it's also available on the NROER website. What is it? NROER. It's available in the NCERT website. If you go to NROER, you type the birthday party, you will get that video of full 14 minutes, and in yesterday's session about 6 minutes had been used. So in that video also there are, as the title suggests, there is a birthday party in which around 5 or 6 animals are invited for the birthday party. The birthday party is about a little dog, and the birthday party is thrown by little dog's owner, on behalf of the dog whose name is Spot.
Yeah.
And the animals are invited. They come, they have cake, and they sing happy birthday to you, and it's a very enjoyable video.
Okay. Ma'am, we don't have much time, but just last question, to give you a brief answer for that. What is the importance of sequence in pedagogy? Just a one-liner or two.
Yes, sequencing very briefly means knowing that there is a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Okay.
To anything, to any narrative, to any story. It seems very simple to us as adults, but for children to identify that this is a beginning, middle, and end is an achievement in itself. Of course, we do use certain words like once upon a time, or they lived happily after, or words like next, and so on, but this indicates sequencing. So children should be able to understand sequencing. And how would you know they have done it? Because if they can retell the story in its proper sequence, that means they have mastered the skill.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Thank you, all of you, for watching this program. And yes, let us fight COVID-19 together. So I want to end this session right now, but we'll come back again at 2 o'clock with another session. So please stay tuned. You're watching NCERT's live phone-in program. And before leaving, I just want to say, me and ma'am should say it together. Stay safe,
safe
and stay at your home. Thank you.